Hello folks. Today we're going to be looking at a night wave reward for this intermission season. They have released a couple of new mods as night wave rewards if you like climb up the ranks, and one of them is this one, Critical Precision, a mod for the Tiburon that increases crit chance when you headshot. It's kind of a cool mod, and I want to talk a bit about it, partly just to see what the mod can do, and like, is it good or not? Should you be using it? Does it make, the Tiburon a good weapon? Stuff like that. And also just like, maybe a deeper discussion about the game itself. I'm gonna once again start talking about, hey, you know it, the AoE Meta, as it were. Because we have to talk about it when we look at stuff like that. The Tiburon is not an AoE weapon, it is a single target weapon. It has two modes of fire. It has a burst fire mode, and you can also set it to a semi-fire mode. Oh, it also has an auto mode, sorry. But this mod only works when you're using the burst fire mode, so the burst fire mode is the only one we're gonna be using. It fires a 3-shot burst like this. So what's this mod do? Well, it gives a hefty crit chance boost, up to 500%. And every time you headshot, you increase your crit chance by up to 500%. Now, what's interesting here is that it says missing with all shots in a burst removes up to 100% of this crit chance bonus. That does not mean that it removes all of it that you have built up. It means that it removes exactly 100%. So, let's look at the top right corner. As you can see here, it's at 500%. So, if I were to, miss... It's interesting. It seems to be hard locked to 500% here in the Simulacrum. But otherwise, if I shoot a burst and miss all 3 shots, it's not going to go down to 0. It's going to go down to 400%. So it's going to remove 100% every time that you can't hit anything. You also don't have to headshot to keep the bonus. You only have to use headshots to stack up the bonus to 500%. Once you are at 500%, you can hit body shots on enemies. That's fine. That's not going to remove any of the stored up crit chance. It's only if you just miss entirely that you lose out on your built up crit chance. And then drops down to 400%, 300%, 200%, whatever. And then you have to start building it back up again. But 500% crit chance, that's a lot. That is a lot of crit chance. So how it works, with like these stacking bonuses, it's 500% of the base crit chance. So it's basically this number times 5. So it's not going to be 500% crit chance as the actual real number. It's going to be around 150% crit chance. Something like that. And then you have other ways of increasing the crit chance with like stuff like galvanized scope, so you get even more crit chance when you aim. So definitely, if you have this mod, you want to build it around crits. You have to use stuff like Vital Sense to increase the crit damage. You can use stuff like Hammer Shot if you have it. You get it from nightmare missions, low-level nightmare missions, but it's a very, very low drop chance. But if you have Hammer Shot, then you can increase your crit damage even further, stuff like that. Stuff like bladed rounds, if you want to use that. Critical delay or split, not split. What's it called? Point strike, yeah. If you want to just bump up the base number, but. Honestly, all you really need is critical precision to increase the crit chance, and vital sense to bump up the crit damage, and that's basically what you need. Galvanized scope helps even more, and if you have 100%, 150% crit chance, that means that you're guaranteed a crit on every shot, and some shots are gonna be like the orange crits and the red crits and stuff like that. Obviously, with a build like that, you have to use hunter munitions. You get that from doing ghoul purges whenever they're around, and you get slash procs when you crit on enemies. It's really good. And status chance is pretty decent on the Tiburon. So if you just do like viral, you'll hit enemies with enough viral procs to where they go down really hard. So, the question is, with this new mod, does the Tiburon do big number? That's what everyone wants to know. Does it do big number? And the answer is yes, Tiburon does do big number. So if you like do your headshots. Now we have to build it up again. Now the 500% was gone. That's nice. So as you can see in the top right, that little 4-leaf clover to the right, that's 450%. If you just do your headshots, that's gonna bump up to 500%. Let's see now if I miss one. Yeah, down to 400%. So you lose 100%. That's what it's supposed to look like. So now that we have the Tiburon at 500% increased crit chance, and we have our primary deadhead, stuff like that. These are level 190 corrupted heavy gunners, and they get one-shotted. So if I just, you know, do my headshots like this, take my time to aim, this thing will now pack a serious punch, which is neat. And currently, like normally, you know, I run with my Gloom Equinox. I like having it, you know, with the helmeted for Gloom, because it slows down enemies, especially with this number 4. So with enemies being slowed down, that means I can, you know, I can be patient, I can take my time, I can pop my enemies without having to worry too much about retaliation. There we go. Gotta get my numbers up. Gotta get my deadhead up. Now the damage starts to look... what I want it to look like. So this is strong, right? And this is actually pretty good if you are a newer player, I'm gonna say. You don't have to be like just one of these badass endgame players who are fighting against level 200, level 300, level 400 up to, I don't know, level cap enemies. No, this mod is actually more interesting for a new player. For someone who's playing like low-level content. Because this actually makes the Tiburon quite a nasty weapon. So if we look at like more of a budget version of this setup, we're not going to be using these new arcanes. We're going to have like pretty basic stuff in here. But I am going to use hunter munitions. It's so strong, it opens up everything. But other than that, it's like the basic stuff. You got infected clip, hellfire, cryo rounds, serration, split chamber, vital sense, critical precision. That's it. Like this is a pretty reasonable build that most players should be able to like just do on their weapon. So if we have something like that, we can set things down to like level 100 enemies. Something like that's reasonable. And we're still gonna do the corrupted heavy gunners because, you know, hey, they're tough. They're tough, so they're a good benchmark for if a weapon is strong or not. So I don't know if we still have the bonus or if that's just like... No, we have to rebuild it from scratch. So, now I have to do headshots for a while. Just to build up my 500% crit chance. But I gotta make sure to not miss. Because then I'll lose out and I have to start all over again. Like I said, it's 100% crit chance that disappears with every miss. But now we're at the 500% again. And these are level 100 corrupted heavy gunners. And you can pretty reasonably take these guys down. It's strong. The slash procs are doing the trick, the viral procs are doing the trick, and you know, the pretty hefty crits. So the damage numbers are there. This is kind of what you want to see. Now let's just get rid of these boys. Now, if I were to run a build like this in-game, I wouldn't use Equinox for it. I would probably use this for something like a Nyx assimilate build, especially if you want to do something like just, you know, grind your way through Steel Path, for example. So if you take Nyx and run a Tiburon Prime build with critical precision, all of that, it helps because you can also just, you know, shut off enemy defenses while you're being immortal. We're going to crank everything up to 190. We're going to activate everything. So, now that we are in Assimilate, we are immortal. And you can just, you know, delete enemy defenses with the click of a button. Pop them with your Tiburon. And you can be patient about it. Why? Because you're immortal. So, you don't have to worry about having to parkour and run around, stuff like that. You can just slowly and patiently take your shots. Melting the highest level enemies you can imagine. And it's quite fun. Just, you know, walking through a mission like this, popping enemies. And if you want to move a bit further, faster, go into Operator. And go back in. But that works. That works and that's strong. Now, everything I've just said about the Tiburon and its viability and how strong it is with this new mod and how many cool stuff you can do with it, all of this is pointless. You can ignore everything I've just said. It's all moot. It's all garbage. The Tiburon is worthless. This mod is worthless. I will show you why. Because you see, like the Tiburon that I just showed you, that is what we call a Simulacrum build. Right? You saw how it worked in a Simulacrum environment. Where it's just me and a bunch of enemies that I can just pop in private. But let's take this for a spin in a real mission. Let's do something like, oh, look at that. We have a Axie defense fissure on Hydron. Okay. How many boom boom monkeys do you think we're gonna see? How many Wukongs with a Kuvazar are we gonna have in our team? I'm just throwing it out there. You know, it's just a guess. It's anyone's guess. Alright, let's see what we got. We got... Okay, sure. No monkeys this time. Amprex, that's an AoE weapon. Let's see. Kuva Brahma, that's an AoE weapon. And the Staltha... Staltha is okay. But the Kuva Nukor, I guess, is AoE. So we got people here who can melt, you know, 1,000 enemies at the same time. So now I'm gonna go in here with my fancy new Tiburon. And I'm gonna hunt for headshots. Oh! Nice, I got 2 headshots in. Alright, I'm gonna shoot these guys. Damn. I didn't have time. He threw a Glaive Prime and exploded the entire room. Okay. I'm gonna... damn it, I was gonna shoot those guys. Okay. What if I go over here to shoot these guys? No. Nice, I got 1 shot in. Cool. They were looking the other way, so... Oh, god damn it. I wanna shoot something. I wanna shoot something so that I can build up my my Tiburon bonus damage. Damn it, no, nothing here. Nothing here. Okay, guys, don't worry about it. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I can see an enemy that I can shoot. Okay. Should I ask my teammates to just like stop killing enemies so I have a chance to get my hits in? Okay, let's go over. Oh, no. Ooh, maybe this one. Yeah, I got 1 in. Managed to take out like 2 enemies. Oh, damn it. I was gonna shoot those guys, but They died before I had a chance to shoot them. Let me know if you can see any enemies. So this is kind of my point. Like, I can do stuff like that, right? I can one-shot that Eximus unit. But in the time that I kill one enemy, my teammates with a Kuva Brahma, with a Kuva Nuke, or with a Glaive Prime, you know, the kind of weapons that can explode an entire room in one shot. By the time I kill one enemy, my teammates have killed 20. And hell, I can do the same thing. I'm an Equinox. I'll just press a button. See that? I just did more with one button press than I've done with this Tiburon the entire mission. Now, if we look at the stats here, this sort of tells a sort of sad tale. It's like, yeah, 12% of all damage. So if you look at like the Protea here, that's 14% of all damage, but twice as many kills. So I did more damage per shot. Like twice as much. But they still got more kills. So the huge problem with, you know, this mod is that this mod was designed for a different game. This mod is designed for a version of Warframe that doesn't exist, where single target weapons are viable or useful or like can compete. And I think this is important to look at when you see like the whole debate about like, no, you shouldn't nerf the AoE meta, you shouldn't nerf AoE weapons. What you should do instead is you should buff single target weapons. Never nerf, only buff. See, here's the thing. It's useless. Here's an example of buffing a single target weapon to have like really ludicrous damage. You can do some pretty stupid things with it. No one is ever gonna use it. This is gonna collect dust. No one is ever going to use this. You know why? Because the AoE weapons can already one-shot everything. They can just one-shot everything. So, buffing single-target weapons, how exactly? You want me to be able to one-shot enemies twice as hard? No, that's not going to do anything. Do you want single-target weapons to have like some sort of ricochet, so they bounce between every enemy in the room, so that they also become AoE weapons? Is that the solution? It's like, it's pointless. You can't use single-target weapons. There's no reason to use them, because the AoE weapons are just so much better at everything. So, I'm gonna say that this new mod for the Tiburon, great for new players. If you are a new player and you're just sort of starting out with the game and working your way throughout the star chart, this mod is going to turn the Tiburon into quite an efficient weapon that you're going to be able to use to clear a lot of stuff that you couldn't clear before, especially if you also have the Vital Sense mod. Those two alone, you're going to feel the impact of just how strong the Tiburon is going to become if you have those two mods. That's great. That's great. For anyone who's beyond clearing the star chart, it's useless. It might as well not be in the game. It's less than a band-aid. Something like this is not gonna make people use the Tiburon. There's just no reason why you would. And this is like another sort of like just data point in the debate for me about what the issue with the game is. And the issue with the game is the boom booms. The cannons, the Kuva Brahmas, the Kuva Tsars, the Tenet Envoys, the big explodey weapons that can take out an entire room with a click of a button, and how it's sort of warping the entire gameplay around them to the point where most of your arsenal is just gonna be collecting dust. It's not just the Tiburon. Tigris used to be meta. Now, gone. No one uses it. It's gone. Stroom Prime. Really strong shotgun. Really strong shotgun. Useless. Stalta, one of the coolest weapons in the game, and with the Unreal skins as well, it looks so good. I love it. I wish I could use it. But it's just, why would I? Yeah, it's got an alt fire with an explodey boom boom, but hey, you have to charge it. It's not just a click of a button. It's a click of a button and then you have to wait a second. Not good enough in this meta. Same reason why you can't use the Quellor anymore. I love the Quellor. It's one of my favorite weapons in the game. I adore the Quellor. Can't use it because you have to charge the AoE shot. And the other one is just like a single target assault rifle, which is garbage. So the alt fire is the only thing that could be useful. No. If it's not like a beam weapon that can like spread to different targets, or if it's not like a big explodey boom boom AoE, it's useless. It's just useless. So it's sad. It's like this is a cool mod. I love the idea of this. And they've talked about this is how they want to move forward with strong stuff, where you want to reward skill. You want a reward for doing the skilled gameplay. You can see it with the Nataruk, for example, which is gorgeous design. Right, you have to charge to the right moment, you have to let go at the right moment when you shoot. It's pseudo AoE, quasi AoE, whereas like you have to actually hit your target to get the boom boom, and you can't just shoot at the ground and get the boom boom. That's not gonna work. Stuff like that. So it's skill testing to get the AoE. Great. And now they're doing that with the Tiburon. Love it. Love the idea of like, yeah, you can get the stupid crit number, but in order to get it, you have to consistently hit headshots on enemies. Great. I love it. It's garbage. It's useless. Because there's no room for it in this game. It turns the Tiburon into one of the better single target weapons that exists, which means it's garbage. Because it's a single target weapon. And you know what? I understand that even before we had the explodey boom boom monkey with Azar meta, I understand that there were other nuke metas. I understand that before we had that, we had melee meta, because with primed reach and certain weapons, you could still clear entire rooms with your melee weapon. So that's what you did. Before that, you had the nuker Warframes. You had Sarin. You had Mesa. To an extent, you had Equinox. Warframes that could clear entire rooms with their abilities. One good example would be like Ember with World on Fire, which is also just like a passive thing. So I get that just nerfing AoE weapons isn't just going to solve the problem by itself. I understand that. I understand that this is like a big thing where you have to look at many different aspects of the game at the same time. I'm just saying that going into, you know, a mission solo and slowing things down and using something like a single target weapon, it is so much more fun. It's like you're playing a completely different game, and I enjoy it more. No, you're not as efficient. You're not getting rewards as fast. You're not cracking open 100 relics per hour doing that. You're not farming your plastids as fast. Number does not go up as fast. But it's more fun. It's a more fun game. And there is a saying that, you know, veterans of any game are left to their own devices. Eventually they will optimize all the fun out of the game. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now in Warframe, that we have optimized the fun out of the game. And I would like the devs to really, really take a look at this meta and really ask themselves if maybe it's actually time that we force players to slow down. Because otherwise, why are you even designing mods like this? Someone designed this. Someone designed this with the intent that it was going to be used. And they thought about it and they were like, hey, we can turn the Tiburon into a really cool weapon with something like this. It's going to feel different and unique to play with it. And then it's just, it's for nothing. It's for nothing. I made this video showcasing it and it's strong and you can like kill level 200 corrupted heavy gunners with it with ease and stuff. And no one is going to use it. And it's just sad. So yeah, you know, my stance on this is clear. I've said what I think the solution is, and what I think the solution is just bring back self-damage. Removing self-damage was a mistake. Bring it back. Force people to take risks with AoE weapons. You want to use a rocket launcher? Understand that it's a risky weapon to use. Understand that if you point at your feet and click the trigger, you're gonna die. That's how you turn AoE weapons into skill testing weapons. It's that simple. You want the Tiburon to become a skill testing weapon, so you create this mod. Okay. You want the Nataruk to become a skill testing weapon, so you design the gameplay around charging the exact right moment to let go, and you have to aim at enemies and stuff like that. Cool. But hey, you want to take the Tsar, the Envoy, the Brahma, all of them, and turn them into skill testing weapons as well, to give those weapons the sort of gameplay that you ostensibly want, you know, your weapons to have. Bring back self-damage. That's it. That's how you turn them into skill testing weapons. Which is good. Which is good. It's not gonna make people stop using them, but they're gonna have to, you know, look at where they're shooting, which is more helpful for everyone. Maybe they'll stop using their bright pink energy color as well then. Because, hey man, now it can backfire. Yep. So, that's the video. Really cool mod. Really efficient. It makes the Tiburon 10 times as strong as it was before. For anyone who's beyond clearing the star chart, it's going to be completely useless because AoE weapons exist. If you are clearing the star chart, if you are a new player, then make sure to just take the Tiburon for a spin, put this mod in, upgrade it, and melt anything in your path. You're gonna have a fun time with it. I wish we could all have a fun time with it, but that's not where the game is at right now. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry for being a Debbie Downer. I will see you guys again tomorrow for something completely different.